What's up, everybody? Welcome to another PlayStation conversation. I'm Greg Miller, and this is the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Beyond.
Colin, my head is swimming. There has been way too many announcements to keep up with today, but three big ones to talk about. Number one, Joe Danger 2 coming to the PlayStation Network after all. Before it debuted, it was an exclusive. Then it went to Microsoft. We all lost our minds, but now it's coming home to Papa.
Now it's here. It's got a bunch of exclusive content apparently, which is interesting.
Nice.
Well. Yep.
Number two, there's now going to be an Ezio Assassin's Creed Trilogy one-disc bundle kind of thing coming to PlayStation 3. Only PlayStation 3, an exclusive.
Yeah, probably because they can only fit it on that Blu-ray disc, Greg. High five.
I don't know why we high-five that. Three, and this is the biggest one, there's the Mass Effect Trilogy coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 3, marking the first time Mass Effect has been on the PlayStation 3.
It's a very interesting time. It really lifts your spirits, doesn't it, Greg?
It does lift my spirits, I guess. That's something interesting. You got off the train today, you were talking to me about it, that the Mass Effect news in general made you happy as a PlayStation fan, that this Mass Effect game finally coming to PlayStation 3. Why is it a big deal?
Because we have a platform on PS3 where we had Mass Effect 2, we got it late, and then we got Mass Effect 3 at the same time as everyone else, but we can never, on our platform, carry our save over from the original Mass Effect, which was released on Xbox 360 in 2007, and then pull your Commander Shepard all the way through to the beginning. You kind of had to use that comic book that came with the second Mass Effect to make those decisions. This gives PlayStation gamers like you and me a way to experience the complete trilogy on our native platform. Now, obviously, I wrote the strategy guide for the original Mass Effect back in 2007. You played the original. You played it all the way through on Xbox 360. So this isn't anything.
I thought it sucked and I stopped playing it.
This is
I played the whole series.
Yes,
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the number one game. Mass Effect 1, garbage.
No, Mass Effect 1 is a great game. But you know, this is a chance for our PlayStation brethren that might not have access to the things that we have.
Yeah.
You know, the various consoles and stuff to play the entire experience. And I think that's a pretty exciting thing for people. And as someone who's played the Mass Effect trilogy extensively, having written the strategy guide for the first two and then reviewing the third one, I will be playing it all over again. Because, Greg, I got to get those trophies.
You got to get them trophies. You never platinum 2 or 3, right?
No.
You're going back. Will you try to platinum on this one?
Yeah, I think I wanted to go back and play 2 and 3 again to platinum them. So this is kind of serendipitous because now I'm not going to do that until this whole thing kind of comes out. And what's really exciting is if you own 2 and 3 like you and I do, you can buy the original Mass Effect PS3 version on PlayStation Network for an undisclosed amount. Don't have to buy the trilogy, the entire thing. So that's pretty exciting too.
Now here's what's interesting, Colin, is that the original Mass Effect was published by Microsoft. So we are working on it. We have our little news drones, the Dark Knight of News, everybody else going around trying to get the scoop on what happened here. It's 5 years later, you know, the doctors have left BioWare. What's your take on why now we can play Mass Effect on the PlayStation?
I mean, it's all conjecture, but I think it's very interesting. Almost exactly 5 years ago, Mass Effect came out, and you would assume that it's one of two things: either EA has some sort of deal when they purchased BioWare that this exclusivity would last X amount of time, perhaps 5 years from the release of the original Mass Effect, or that EA just had to outright buy Microsoft out in terms of their publishing rights to the original game, because we always talked about the original Mass Effect as a game that never could be on PlayStation 3, and I never expected this to happen because, you know, Microsoft's a wily company, they're smart, they like to make money, you think they would hold on to that. So somewhere along the lines, money was given around. I think this is when they sit at tables, businessmen, I think that they do this.
Just
And so I think that's probably what happened, because EA obviously owns the developer, and now they own all of the games.
Over on Podcast Beyond, the number one PlayStation podcast on the internet, every Tuesday here on IGN.com. This week, we were talking about exclusives and the consoles and what it all means, and you said something very telling that I think definitely rings through today, that exclusives don't matter to Xbox.
No, they don't.
Why is that?
I think we're hurtling towards a future probably after the next generation of consoles, where companies like Sony will probably become publishers of games, and there'll be a unified hardware. So because they own 12 studios plus a bunch of games, like they own 12 studios that only make PlayStation games plus a bunch of names, they're positioned very well.
Sure.
It seems like Microsoft is taking a different tack, a more immediate tack in which they're making their console an entertainment device, knowing that they have Halo, which is going to be huge. They have Gears of War, which is going to be huge. They even have some lesser titles like Alan Wake that are pretty big.
Sure.
Plus they know that third-party games like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and all those things will definitely sell much better, probably 2-to-1 on Xbox 360. So people just gravitate towards that for everything, for sports. Plus they have the entertainment hub, you know, the HBO Go and all these things. The HBO Go, that's what the kids call it, right?
That's what they call it, yeah. I think I see that Boardwalk Empire.
And you know, and they have, you know, all Netflix and all the things that we have on PS3 too. But I think that they're just going in a different direction. They want that thing to be the center of your living room. So what's really fascinating to me is that we have three companies, Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation, Sony, that are going in totally different directions. Like, who's going to win? You know, so for the hardcore gamer, I'm super pleased with what Sony's doing for PlayStation gamers because they seem to care about the games. But it's the minutia and the other things surrounding it that it seems like Microsoft's paying attention to, and that could be why they're winning, Greg.
Here's something I want to ask you, bounce off you here, Colin Moriarty. Do you think that in a way this lack of caring about exclusives, letting kind of things go after a while from Microsoft, is them kind of just doubling down and saying, you know, when we release the 720, people are going to buy it. You have a friends list, you know you love Xbox Live, you've made this community that when Call of Duty comes out, when Madden comes out, you're going to want to play with those people, so we really don't need to sell you on our system. It's already sold.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said about that. You and I talked about it a lot, you know, just amongst ourselves, that the ecosystems that are being developed because of the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live are going to carry over to the next generation. And if you play mostly on one, you're definitely going to want to carry over those trophies or those achievements, those friends, those experiences, perhaps leaderboards and backwards compatibility and all those things to the next console. That's why I keep saying that PlayStation 4, or whatever it's going to be called, must come out before the new Xbox if they want to take some of that and some of those, you know, hardcore Xbox guys away, because that's basically what happened to PS2 in 2005 when the Xbox 360 beat PS3 to market by a year, plus the PS3 was very expensive. People got in, they got attached, they didn't care anymore. And so we do have these two environments that are very separate and that have huge hardcore communities, and it's going to be hard to cross them over, I think, because everything carries over. That's what makes the Wii U so interesting too, because it doesn't seem like they have any sort of built-in achievement system.
No cachet, right?
No, there's no, and so there's no loyalty there except for the hardcore Nintendo fans, which are many. But that doesn't exist. That's like a whole other ecosystem. The PS3 and the Xbox 360, and then the next ones are really creating these huge ecosystems that don't cross over. It's fascinating.
It is. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Why doesn't Microsoft hold on to these exclusives a little bit tighter? What's going to happen next generation? If PlayStation 4 comes out first, would you leave your Xbox to go play it? Let us know in the comments below. Then you share this video. Then you keep coming to IGN.com for crazy videos like this every day.